Welcome to Fire and Froth. Come join the adventure as we explore culinary delights and craft beer, two things that make life great. If you've never been here before, we try to put out beer and food episodes on a weekly basis. So be sure to subscribe, share us with your friends, and like the videos if you like them. Today we're going to make one of my all-time favorite breakfast meals. I first dined on this delicacy when I was visiting friends at the University of Florida, and we went to this place called Skeeter's Big Biscuits. Yes, home of the Big Biscuit. I had this thing called the Asher Special, but the special itself, I mean, it was good, but I topped it off with corned beef hash. And it was the perfect meal after a long night of drinking cheap beer. What was the Asher Special, you might ask? Let me tell you about it. The Asher Special started out as a mound of crispy hash browns. Had melted cheese on top of the hash browns, and generally eggs, any way you liked them, on top of that cheese. But I did something a little bit different. One of my friends introduced me to it. He said, man, why don't you get corned beef hash? And they'll put it right on top of that cheese. So I did it. And it was awesome. I put that corned beef hash on top and then gently placed 3 eggs sunny side up right on top of that corned beef hash. It was so good. So good. Skeeter's really was a greasy spoon that was a great place for poor college students to get a good meal. Sadly, Skeeter's is no longer around, so you can't go back there and get that great meal, but you can keep the dream alive and make this at home. We did it. We did most of it on our Blackstone Griddle. The hash browns really turn out great on the Blackstone. I've had great success. In fact, I don't know, maybe a couple of months ago, my good friend Bob introduced me to these hash browns that you can get at Costco that just crisp up really well. And when I cook hash browns, I generally do it on a medium heat, and I'll add some slices of butter to the hash browns. I'll check them, make sure that bottom side's starting to crisp up before I flip it. You don't want to flip them too early, and you just want that good, crispy consistency all the way through. I do the medium heat because I don't want them burnt. I just want them crispy. That's it. Not burnt. You can burn hash browns in the oven, but that Blackstone, like I said, does a great job. So once I had the hash browns just about done, I moved them over to the side of the griddle, the cool side that I've got, which is the way mine's set up. I kind of do the right side as my cool side, and then I broke out the corned beef hash, and I just used some canned stuff. It was pretty good and pretty greasy though. So spread it out, made a real thin layer, and let it go. And took a little while. I mean, like I said, there's tons of grease, so it took a little time for it to kind of brown that way that I like it. Get it where it's a little crisp, had a little bit of crisp where the texture changes from something that looks kind of like cat food to something that looks right like corned beef hash. So you might notice I cooked up some Spam at the same time that I was cooking up the corned beef hash, because you never know when you're going to need some good fried Spam. So just before plating this delicacy, I moved the hash browns back over towards the hot side, and threw on my cheese on the top. Now, previously or usually when I make hash browns, I'll just add cheese. I'll add, when they're just about done, I'll take shredded cheese, I'll throw it all over it, I'll mix them up, and it'll get crispy and gooey, and it's great. But I wanted to kind of keep this authentic, so I just put my cheese on top of the hash browns, let it melt down real well, and then I carefully picked it up, put it on my plate, and then I loaded up the corned beef hash right on top of the cheese. And then I was pretty much done with the griddle. So took my plate inside. At the same time, I had been cooking up some eggs, sunny side up, and I gently placed them right on top of that corned beef hash. When I was recreating this meal, I thought there was no way you could make anything better. I mean, I made it just as I remembered it, but then I started thinking about it, and I was like, man, yeah, I could make a 2.0. I could make this a little bit better. And how I did it? Oh yeah, I turned it into a burrito. So I broke out a large burrito shell, flour shell, softened it up. I diced up that Spam that I had cooked up earlier, and I added the eggs, the cheese, the corned beef hash, the hash browns, and then I threw some sriracha mayo on top of everything, rolled up the tortilla, and then threw it in a pan just to toast the tortilla on either side. And I'm telling you, it was good. It was really good. I mean, the Asher Special itself was a great meal, but with the burrito, it was even better. I'm definitely gonna have to give this another go. The meal turned out great. The Asher Special was awesome, just as I remembered it. The breakfast burrito type Asher Special with the amped up with the Spam and the sriracha mayo was on point. It was so good. Highly recommend it. So if you're gonna do it, make that burrito dynamite. Be sure to like, share us with your friends, and subscribe if you've never subscribed before. And be sure to enable notifications, that way you never miss a single exciting episode. And I hope everybody out there has a Merry Christmas, enjoys their time with family, and doesn't drink too much eggnog, especially that stuff that we made French toast with before. It's pretty good stuff. But anyway, everybody be well, and we'll see you soon.